What's up everyone, Karue here from my Tennis HQ. Hope you guys are doing great. It's been a while, life has been really busy, but I'm back and today we're going to talk about the difference in mindset between practice and match play. This will be a two-part series. Today we're going to focus on how to navigate a tennis match in order to make you a more competitive player. And on the next video, I'll be on court showing sort of my tips and tricks on how to handle certain match situations, certain shots, things that happen a lot during matches. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss part number 2. So if you guys are following the channel, you know that a couple weeks ago I played a UTR event. I kind of missed that competitive setting, and it brought me back to that competition mindset that's completely different from practice. We get a lot of comments that people are asking, how can I play like I practice, which is a very common thing. And so I want to use these two videos to help you get over this hump a little bit. I know it's difficult, but sometimes it's just a mindset issue that is making you play worse. Okay, so the first thing, and I've talked about this multiple times here at the channel, is that a lot of people tend to focus so much on their technique while they're playing a match, and obviously that is going to hurt. When you're playing a match, the last thing you need to do is spend all your brain power thinking about your technique. Overthinking technique can be very detrimental. Now, having a good swing thought is different, and that's what I'm going to do on part 2, to kind of show you some of my swing thoughts, the things that I think about when I'm playing, about my strokes, but I'm not necessarily trying to make any adjustments that day. It is what it is what I have that day. And I think a lot of people, they're looking for perfection on their technique, and they end up blaming their poor performance on their technique, and that's just a noob mentality, that's just a beginner mentality, and it's not going to take you anywhere. So instead of using that brain power on overthinking technique, I want you to use that focus, that brain power, to try to answer one simple question, which it is, how can I make my opponent uncomfortable today with the tools that I have today? You might not have everything super sharp that day, but you're going to have to figure out how to make your opponent uncomfortable. As you start a match, those first few games there, you're kind of getting a feel for each other. You have to make sure you focus on assessing what's going on. Like, what is my opponent doing well? What he seems like he struggles with a little bit. What am I doing well today? What am I feeling good about today? My serve, my forehand, the placement on my shots, whatever it is. And what am I not doing that well that I'm going to try to like almost fake it that I'm doing well, almost like we got to protect that part of the game that you're not doing well, or that shot that you're not seeing, not go for that too often, and make sure once you figure that out, you can then come up with a plan on how to play better, and again, make your opponent uncomfortable. And once you do that, it will be much easier to manage the match, which brings me to the word of the day, that is management. Okay, this is where we're gonna get a little bit more. We're going to go down in the rabbit hole here of playing a match. But management is a key word that I think you can have in mind next time you're playing a match. And here's why. Playing a tennis match requires a lot of management. You have to manage your own game, manage your emotions, manage your stamina, your physical condition, manage the scoreboard, hopefully try to manage how your opponent is playing. There's a lot of management going on because it's a sport that, we don't have a shot clock. We have to, start and end the match until the last point. You have to stick to a plan. You've got to be able to manage what's going on the match. Is your opponent playing really well? What adjustments I have to do? It can be mentally draining, but you have to be able to manage all those situations and still hit the ball well. So of course, in order for you to become a better tennis player, you're going to have to become a better manager. And I got a few tips for you. So the first thing you need to manage is, of course, your own game, right? You need, like I said at the top, you need to assess what's working that day and what isn't, so you're able to have weapons and hopefully protect your weaknesses a little bit better. Now, amateurs tend to be very stubborn about this because they want everything they've been practicing, they're putting in the hours, to be working that day. Everything that you put in the hours, you want it to be perfect. But trust me, it is not going to. Okay, like the more we practice, the more things become automatic. But there's still going to be some doubt when you're playing matches, and it's still going to be a little bit difficult to handle those situations. So you need to not be stubborn about it and just give away free points, free mistakes just because you want to hit that one shot. Remember, you're playing a match. Play with the weapons you have. Try to protect your weaknesses a little bit better, or not even show that there are weaknesses that day. And be okay that maybe not everything is going to be working that day. And just try to use what's working to get you to win that match. You eventually go back to the practice court, practice the things that you don't think are going that well. But if you just are stubborn and you just want to make everything needs to be perfect, I'm going to go for the shots even though I'm missing 7 out of 10 of them, probably going to lose the match. That's just bad decision making, and that ends up leading you to losing more matches. All right, so number 2 is managing your opponent's game. And this is where it can get a little bit tricky and dicey, especially if you haven't competed a lot. Now, your goal is to make your opponent uncomfortable, right? Or his goal is to do the same to you. And it's going to happen a lot. They're going to be ahead of points a lot of the time. So when that happens, don't be stubborn. Again, don't be stubborn. Don't try to overplay. Don't try to hit the shots that you don't even know how to hit yet, or you're forcing something. Just because you think you need to force something. What playing that tournament reminded me is that a lot of rallies is just managing. It's just trying to keep the ball alive. You know you're not going to be able to hit a winner if you're on the move or if you're in a certain spot on the court. So you just want to hit with some sort of quality to the other side. Keep the ball alive. Have another chance, and then maybe be offensive. Maybe see the shot that you really like to go for. Like, for example, I love hitting my backhand down the line. That doesn't mean that I hit my backhand down the line 90% of the times. I actually have to set that up before. So managing what your opponent is doing requires you paying a lot of attention to the ball. Have they hit a good ball? What can I do with that ball? So remember to be patient. I've said this before, the ball actually makes the decision on how you are going to hit your ball. It's not you just because you want to hit a ball, that's the ball you're going to hit. If your opponent is hitting good shots, sometimes the best ball you can hit, the highest quality ball you can hit, is just a looper ball all the way to the other side that gives you some time to recover and be in a good court position. That's the best thing you can do. You're just managing the situation until you see a ball that allows you to maybe go for it a bit more. It's the ball that you see well. Maybe for me, let's say the backhand down the line. Now this is the one that I'm going to go. Then I'm going to go try to do something with the ball. If my opponent hits a great ball again, we're back to managing. We're back to keeping the ball in play, kind of moving each other around until someone lets up, and then you have an opportunity. So again, your opponent is going to play well. Your opponent is going to try to be uncomfortable. You got to manage that situation a bit better. Okay, so don't force it. Don't be stubborn about going for shots you don't even know how to do. And if there's anything you can remember from this video, is that the ball makes the decision, especially if your opponent is doing well. So make good decisions off the ball that was hit to you. Okay, so number 3 is managing emotions. Now, when we go out of practice, obviously there's no pressure. We kind of swing freely. It doesn't really matter in a lot of ways, but once we're playing a match, people get anxious, people get nervous, people get a little bit tight, and they aren't able to perform as well as they would like. And that's perfectly normal. I think too many times we put too much emphasis on those feelings. And I know they can be crippling. I've had plenty of bad matches where I just couldn't shake that off. But 1, it's normal. 2, everyone is feeling it. And 3, the only way, and this is a topic that is difficult to discuss because I think each person has their own way of managing those feelings, those situations. So the only tip I have for this is actually play a lot of matches. Just play a lot. Because what I found to happen a lot is that a lot of players that I've encountered love training. They love that situation of just like there's no pressure, but they legitimately don't enjoy competing because of those feelings. And what happens is every tournament, every match becomes too special. It's special. Oh my God, I'm playing a match that's special. Oh. The key here is to actually normalize playing matches. Normalize that feeling. Normalize the fact that I'm going to play a tournament and I might lose to someone and I have to, be out of there first round. That has to be normal, because otherwise, every match you're just going to put too much pressure on it. There's going to be too much like weight on it, and it's going to be hard to perform. The more you play, the easier it is to manage those emotions. Again, I've played for a long time. I know how to manage those things. I know how to set up my equipment to manage those emotions. I know how to, what I have to do, what I have to listen to before I play a match. I know all those things by now because I've been doing this for a long time. But if you just started playing, you're starting competing now, you're going to feel like that. You have no idea how to adjust, again, the word of the day, manage those. So make sure I think I have videos on this. I will make more videos on managing emotions, but just in general, if there's one tip I can give you is make sure you play a lot of matches. Okay, so they're not special. It's just tennis. It's just a tennis match. And lastly is managing your own body. Now this could be a series of videos on their own. But the reality is playing a match is a lot more draining than practice. You can practice for 3-4 hours and still be okay, but a 2-hour match or the intensity of a match might take a huge toll on your body, right? And then maybe you have to play again the next day or in a few hours in the afternoon. It happens. So learning how to manage your body is very important. Proper nutrition, a lot of hydration, drinking water, drinking electrolytes, whatever it is that might help your body that way. Also doing fitness, stretching, all those things, all that body management, making sure your body is healthy. It's key for you to play good matches. Like, it doesn't matter how good your technique is if within 5 games of a match your legs are tired, your feet aren't moving anymore, and you can't get to the ball and create the right distance and be there. It doesn't matter if you have perfect technique, you're going to make mistakes. Your opponent is going to be able to make you more uncomfortable than you're making them uncomfortable, right? So make sure, if you guys have any questions about that, leave it down below, because it's such a broad topic that it's difficult to talk about in a couple of minutes. But good routines and making sure your body is fresh, as well as your mind, as well as everything, is going to help you play better matches. So make sure you're also managing your body appropriately to your age, appropriately to your physical condition, all those things. So next time you go play a match, remember, I'm here to take it to my opponent, however that may be. If it's, everyone that talks about the pusher, right? The pusher beat me a pusher. I hit better than him, but he's just a pusher. No, that guy just knows how to play more balls. Probably knows how to work the court a little bit better. And you think because you hit 2-3 good balls in a point that you are better than them. You're not. The only consistent thing that makes someone better than the other is that they beat you. It's their wins and losses, right? So make sure that next time you're on the court, you're out there to be a gamer, to be competitive, and you leave practice and technical improvements to the practice court. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do us a solid, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. It really does help us. We also got a bunch of links down below that help the channel. So if you're buying something from Tennis Warehouse, we got Swing Vision, we got a lot of stuff down below. Also visit mytennishq.com. And again, part 2 should be coming hopefully the end of the week. It will be fun. I'll be on court kind of showing you my little hacks. So make sure you don't miss that one out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.